Kara Gillan returns into another movie to play another assassin that's also awkward. It turns to be a pretty good to fun John Wick style movie. And this movie called Gunpowder Milkshake, which I ended up watching by surprise with a bunch of friends, which I was actually taken by surprise. And this movie is a fun movie I think that you should watch on Netflix. I'm going to go ahead and get into it on this episode of Movie Breakdowns. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what's Movie Breakdowns? Movie review series. We look at new and old movies, give them a grade A through F, plus or minus a due count. And this movie you want to watch, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to as best I can. Also, Patreon.com/Ali Zakka. And for $2 a month, you can cut in front of anybody on Facebook and YouTube as we review anything. And I get to it immediately, except for rated X movies. I'm not doing that, so joke's on you. Give me a movie like, oh, you should watch this one. I'm like, no. But anything else, yes, I'll go ahead and watch it. Now, I also want to give a shout out to Tyler Phoenix. He is one of our Patreon members, and pretty much most of the reviews you've seen recently, he's requested it because he's paying for my services. So there you go. That's the benefit of it. Also, you get trade reaction, trade reviews, and much more other stuff on my Patreon. Now, let's go ahead and jump into today's review of Gunpowder Milkshake for the year 2021. This review is going to have some spoilers in it, so heads up. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it on Netflix and come back once you see everything. I'm not going to really spoil everything because it's pretty much a movie you can think of, but as far as first thoughts, I had fun. I wasn't expecting watching this movie, and my friend asked me, are you going to review this one? And I was like, yeah, and the only reason why I'm going to review it because the cast of this movie is pretty stacked. It has Ansel Bassett in it. It has Chloe Coleman. Go back here. Yeah, Chloe Coleman, Lena Headey. She's in this. Kara Gillan is in it. So there's like this movie is a movie that's taken seriously, but also not taken seriously. Like these actors and actresses actually put their time and effort into this movie to me. What it felt like. So I was like, yeah, I have to review this movie because I think this cast is great, and I feel like at least you get some recognition for this movie. Now I'm just a small time YouTuber, but still, like, it's the fact that maybe 2 more people hear about this movie from me, I feel like I did my job. But Gunpowder Milkshake, I had fun with it. I didn't think much of it. It's a Netflix movie, so I was like, okay. I haven't heard much buzz about it, so I didn't think much of it. And then watching it, I was like, this movie's kind of goofy. This movie kind of funny. Now I was like, wait a minute. This seems like John Wick to me. Some of the stuff that's happening in this movie seems much like John Wick. And I started to think to myself, I was like, huh, this is like a female version of John Wick. And you know what? I had fun. When I realized this movie wasn't taking itself too seriously, like some of the stuff that was happening in the movie, it was like, yeah, that's over the top. That's dramatic. But you know what? It's a fun time. But one thing about it that I knew like effort and heart was put into this movie was like the camera angles, the directing, the setup, the set pieces. There's certain angles in the movie where you see Kara saying something, and then there's people like off in the corner right behind her. You can see them like the angle, the foreground and the background kind of merge in a certain sense. Kind of remind me how like some of the setup and pieces and the camera angles was set up in the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I was completely down for it. I was like, I enjoyed this movie. Now this movie is 1 hour and 52 minutes long, so pretty much a 2-hour movie, and I didn't watch it in whole. I had to leave in the middle of the movie and came back and watched it, but for the most part, I felt like it flowed well. I feel like it didn't drag out. However, I didn't watch the full 2 hours altogether, but I was super intrigued in it that like the first hour was almost done. I was like, oh man, I've been watching this for an hour. I didn't even realize it. So I do give it props to that. Let me go ahead and get into the directing and directors. So the movie was directed and written by Navad Papushuk. Navat Papushado. He is from Israel, but he directed this movie, and I do give him props on that. This movie is rated R, so therefore you will see like people getting cut up, heads cut off, like just bloody stuff all over the top. But what makes it different from John Wick is that John Wick was a better movie. So this movie was like, you can see like some of the character props, and you can see the background where it becomes more like a CGI background instead of like an actual, like, you know, looks like it merged correctly. But other than that, like as far as storyline and actors and actresses go, I felt like they all made it look like where you didn't see that, but you can definitely see some of the CGI work into the movie where it looked like it was trying to be a certain style, or I guess it wasn't trying to take itself too seriously. To me, in a sense, like some of the CGI could have been better, but it's also a Netflix movie. And what is this movie about? This movie is about an assassin who gets put on a mission to pretty much retrieve some money back on behalf of the company that she works for, the assassination company that she works for. And while she does that, collateral damage happens and a young girl gets involved. So therefore the assassin now had to take the young girl underneath her wing, and at the same time try to defeat the company that turned on her because she didn't get the job done like she needs to get done. And there it lies some of the problem with the story. This is where I'm about to start jumping in spoilers. So the problem to me was she goes in, she does what she does, and the kid now is harm's way. She collects the kid, and some of the goofiness of this movie, the guys who get the money and start running away with it turn on each other, and one dude throws a grenade at another guy and it blows up the money and stuff like that, or attempt to throw a grenade, but it doesn't get released, so it blows up the money, which I'm like, that makes no sense. You guys' goal was to get the money, and you're about to kill each other for the thing that you guys wanted. If you guys both did, why y'all have the money? Anyway, the money gets blown up, and this caused a company who was like, oh, she screwed up because she didn't retrieve the money. However, the money not getting retrieved wasn't her fault. It was the guys who stole the money's fault. But the company turns on her, and then they kidnap the girl who had nothing to do with the money, nothing to do with, like, I guess at this point it doesn't do with the main character, which is Eve, who played by Kara. But why they trying to kidnap the girl? That made no sense to me. And then the firm who sent the assassins after Kara turned out not to be the one who kidnapped the girl, but a gang member from a revenge part at the beginning of the movie that you completely forgot about because they don't mention the father at the beginning. Like, you see him, but as far as the repercussion, they both live in a world of assassins and mobsters. So death is something that can happen. But you play this revenge game of, you killed my son, so I kill you, and now you kill, and somebody else comes back and take revenge for the job they're supposed to do. It really was like, it was a job. And the main villain, just the guy at the end of the movie, he even states that it was a job. You had nothing against my son, but now I gotta kill you. He made it personal for me because now I don't have to be single, or now I don't have a kid anymore or son anymore. I have nothing but daughters, which that sounds really messed up of him and misogynistic of him, which he had 4 girls and he was like, I want a son, and I got a son, and now you took that away from me. Like, what kind of father are you? Anyway, but that's some of the stuff that happens in the movie. I'm like, why did y'all kidnap the girl? For all y'all know, Kara doesn't care about the girl. Yes, she had the girl with her for the whole movie because she's trying to find her family, but Kara could have been like, okay, cool. What if she said that? What if she was like, y'all take the girl, okay, cool. Now, Kara does have abandonment issues, or Eve does have abandonment issues because her mom left her when she was the age of 12, I believe. Yeah, she was a 12-year-old girl, or 15. But her mom left her to go do an assassination mission and never returned because she was on hiatus. So, like, I get the abandonment issues, and I get Eve kidnapping or taking the girl underneath her wing. And the girl's like, I'm your apprentice. And Kara's like, no, you're not. I keep calling her Kara because that's the actress, but it's Eve. But that's the story of the movie. And for the most part, the story, it's executed decently well to strong. Like, I think it was solid. I don't think it was like you can find nitpicks like I just did there, but it's okay. All right, let me go ahead and get into cast. So Karen, I keep calling her Kara. It's Karen. Karen Gillan. Wow, Kara. I've been calling her Kara this whole time. But Karen Gillan, who plays Eve, or Sam. Where'd I get Eve from? Eva. So Google has it wrong. They have her Eva, but Sam, that actually is her name, and that's what IMDb has. So check that out, guys. You're looking at it on Google and you look at it on IMDb. But yeah, Sam. Eva, maybe it's her last name. I don't remember where Eva came from. But anyway, Sam, who played by Karen Gillan. Karen Gillan. I'm gonna get somebody's name right today. For the most part, I thought Karen did a good job. Like, to me, it was just her being Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. She's an assassin in there. She's an assassin in this movie. Sam does the same kind of quirks and everything that, you know, Nebula does, where Karen, she moves her body a certain way where she's feel kind of awkward, or acts a certain way where she's kind of awkward. She pretty much sounds like Nebula. You know, it's the same actress. It sounds like Nebula just in regular assassin clothes. I didn't see her Karen in the Jumanji series. I don't know how she acts in Jumanji, so I don't know if that's like how she normally acts in movies, or was she legit being her, like, let me go to my assassination mode that was in the movie of Guardians of the Galaxy, just the same thing. And some of her quips and mannerisms, if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 and then watch the Gunpowder Milkshake, you're going to see the same similarities. I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm pretty cool with this. She's an awkward adult because she didn't have a mom and family growing up. So of course, some of her, during her teenage years, she's going to get some like social quirks where she's like, how do you know that? She moves a certain way, she tilts her head a certain way, she replies to Chloe in a certain way. And then we have Chloe Cloman, who plays Emily. And I like the dynamic between Chloe and Karen. I thought they did a good job playing off each other. Emily was a good piece of the movie. She's a kind of like the person who keeps Sam grounded at certain points, or kind of keeps Sam from losing herself. You know, Sam was an assassin before this. Like, Chloe kind of keeps Sam in check. And I do like the scene where Chloe has to learn how to drive and find a way to escape these bad guys in a like a parking garage, where Karen's like, oh, you gotta do this, do that, turn this way, turn that way. And that was a pretty unique car chase scene in the parking garage. I did give the movie props for that. Lena Headey, who plays Scarlett. Lena, she was cool. She shows up at the beginning of the movie, kind of shows up towards the middle, the end of the movie. No problem with her. And Lena, I would say, is an excellent actress, because to me, she played in Game of Thrones. She's been in 300 other movies, but like her style and acting changes so much that you can't compare the other two characters to each other. And I give props to Lena for that. Paul Giamatti, who plays Nathan, thought he was cool. He seemed like the antagonist to the movie, which he most part was. I thought he was fine. You have Angela Bassett, who plays Anna May, Carla Gugino, who plays Madeline, and then Michelle Yeoh, who plays Florence. All three of them, I think they did solid. They was like the librarians, and at the end of the movie, they kind of come in and kick butt. I thought they did great. That's pretty much it as far as the cast. Everybody else is just like side characters, just random bad guys. But that's pretty much it. Any other thoughts? The music, I'm a good fan for a movie soundtrack. The music is great. I actually listened to it a few times after watching the movie. Solid songs. It played in the right tone. The comedy, there's comedy in this movie. They got some jokes in this movie. But really, for the most part, it to me reminds me of a female version of John Wick, which I'm completely down with that. And I'm actually curious to see them make a sequel because I enjoyed this movie that much that I'm like, you know what? I want to see them make a sequel. I want to see them keep adding on to the story and this world they're building. Now, is this a Friday movie? Yeah, it's a Friday movie. Watch with friends and family, have a good time, get some popcorn, turn your brain off, enjoy it, and great time. I'm going to grade the movie Gunpowder Milkshake a solid C. This movie is a C for me. It's a fun movie. Don't take it too seriously. You enjoy yourself. You question every little thing, analyze every little detail. You're like, oh my gosh. You'll see some CGI stuff. You're somebody who goes into movies. You see some CGI effects. You're like, that's not good. But other than that, like the camera angles, the directing, the gist of the storyline, and the acting in this movie, I think is solid. So it's a C for me. If you've seen the movie Gunpowder Milkshake, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of Movie Breakdowns or Grind Towards Success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.